Hello. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make the Aquadirt Boat. Now, if you remember from the last video, I talked about the Aquadirt Car, which is what you get when you pre-order the Awesome Edition from Lego 2K Drive. Now, unfortunately, in the instruction booklet, it does tell you where you can actually download these instructions, but they don't seem to be working. In the last video, I showed you how to make the Aquadirt off-road car. Now in this one, I'm going to show you how to make the Aquadirt boat. Because as you know, the instructions, you can't really get them at the moment. So now, here are all the pieces you're going to need. Pause the video so you can take note of them. And with that, let's get started. Now, I must warn you that in this build, there is a bit of a fragile part where all the pieces don't stay together properly, but it's the game's fault and tells you how to do it. But I'm just going to make it the way the game did, along with doing a few changes. So, just like in the last video, we're going to start with the 4x4 yellow plate, just like last time. Now, on the game, it tells you that you're supposed to put two 1x2 inverted curves on the ends here. But because we need that for the propeller, we're actually going to use the 2x2 inverted curve piece. Because there's something I want to show you on the instructions real quick. It may be a bit hard to make out, but if you can see just there, it's a bit hard to make out, but it says that the black bit is supposed to go under the centre, not to the sides, as you see as what's shown on the game. Anyway, back to the build. So after you've done that, the next piece you want now is a 2x4 grey plate, and you want to stick that underneath as so. Then under that piece you're going to need a 2x3 red plate, and that goes here. Then on top of here we're going to need a 2x6 plate in black, and we want to put it on like this. And then at this part right here, we're going to need a 2x2 wide axle, and that goes under here. Now the end part here is what we're going to need for the propellers. For that, we're going to need two 1x2 plates with an axle on the end. Obviously, you can't do this with a 2x2 plate with two axles, otherwise it can't be done. Now, if you remembered looking at the pieces earlier, if you paused the video, you would have seen there were two of these, and they go underneath like so. There we go, that's our main base done. So we're going to focus on the front piece. For that, we're going to need these 2x2 red motors, and we want to put them on like so. So for the next part here, we're going to need to cover up these ends with a 1x2 grill. Make sure it's facing this way. And you want to do the same on the other side. So now your mate should look something like this. And that's the main base as shown on the game. So inside here we're going to need to seal this up. And for that we're going to use a 2x6 plate. And then stick it on right here. Then on top of here, we're going to need 2 1x4 black plates. Put one here. And then put the other one next to it. Then on top of here, we're going to put on a 1x2 grill. And a 2x4 and a 2x2 motor, hot motor big block engine. Put it right here. Now there is a sort of like weird combination you have to make of pieces here. But as said before, I'm just following what it said on the game. Just having a look what needs to go next. Alright, so right here we're going to need a 1x2 plate in grey. And put that here. And for this part at the end here, we're going to need a 2x2 plate. Now here, to cover up this black bit, we're going to need a 1x2 cheese slope. If you're building this from the Aquadirt pack, that's not the 2K drive piece. That will come later. Now for this middle part here, we're going to need to put on the 2x4 mudguard. And that goes here. And for the end part here, just keep in mind, no bricks go on this black brick here. But for the end part here, we're going to need to put on 2 1x2 inverted slopes. You could use a 2x2 inverted slope if you don't have the Aquadirt pack, but I'm just making this with all the pieces from the Polybag itself. Then in the middle of the mudguard here, we're going to need a 2x2 plate. Put that right in here. For the very end part here, we're going to need this 2x4 mudguard with the slopes on the front. And put that here. Then on here, you want to put on a 1x2 grill and a 2x2 cheese slope. If you're building this straight from the Polybag, this is where the 2K piece goes. And then at this part here, we'll need to put on a normal 2x2 1x2 cheese slope. Now the fin parts go on the back of here, but as you can tell, they can't go on properly. So before we put those on, we'll need to put on a 1x4 plate in red. And now the 1x2 fin pieces can go on top. Oh, it seems there were 2 pieces that I forgot to include. And it's these. Sorry about that, I kind of forgot to do the inventory check. So, early on in the video, I said this was the piece you needed. I got that wrong. It's these pieces you need. 1x1 plates with attachers on the ends. Now before we do that, we're going to have to do something a bit complex for the sides here. keep in mind it's fragile and easily breaks, but it's how it's made on the game. So first off, we'll need to put on one of these 1x1 what seem to look like minifig pans. And then we're going to need to put on a 2x2 curved brick. And then for right here, we're going to need a 1x2 with some side bricks like this. Then put it on like so. And then to cover up this part, we need a yellow 1x1 round 1x1 flat tile in transparent yellow. And now we're going to make that piece again, but it's going to be mirrored. So I'll help replicate it in case you forgot. We start off with a 1x1 with a side brick on the side. Put on the pan, or at least that's what I think it is. Put on the 2x2 slope. It's this one you might want to put on, like so. So I got the pieces mixed up again, but a 1x2 plate here, and you want to put that on like so. And then I think you want to put on a round 1x1 transparent yellow. I apologise if I got those side bricks mixed up a bit earlier. It's just I thought I included them, but they were actually attached together. And now next, with this one you made earlier, that's one that looks like this. We want to put that on this side of the vehicle. And then we want to do the same for the other side. So now your vehicle should look something like this. And now lastly, on top of here, we're going to need to put on two 2x2 motors in black. It can be a bit hard because of this loose piece here, but if you just press it down like so, and then you push it back, then you push it on from the underneath, it should stay in place. Then you want to do the same on the other side. And lastly, we'll need to put the two wheels on the back. That's to indicate the propellers to help the boat go. So there you go. That's how you build the Aquadirt Boat Car from Lego 2K Drive. I really like this unique build. It's just a bit of a shame that the side parts here in real life are a bit fragile and break easily if you're not careful. But I really like how this turned out. It's supposed to look like some sort of fish hot rod, but I like it. So there you go. I hope that was helpful. And with both this and the off-road videos, you've successfully managed to make both of the models, I assume. If you actually request me, I can show you the instructions on how to build the original Aquadirt street car. But that's only if a lot of people request it, because I don't want to post the instructions online in case that's against copyright infringement and all that. But if you do want to know how, if you do think I should post instructions of how to make this car itself, just ask me. But like I said, I'm not going to show the full piece of paper. I'll just make it step by step like what you saw. That's it for this video, and I hope to see you on my next one. Bye.